Super fantastic sparkling day. Welcome to Portrait Letters podcast number 2494. Maps, and more maps. Yes, today we're going to be answering the question about answering the theory that hang on, what are we talking about today? We're talking about maps, one of the most powerful and overlooked tools in family history research. So we're going to be having a look at that today. When people think about genealogy research, they usually focus on records, birth certificates, census documents, marriage documents, obituaries, death certificates, etc., etc., etc. But they often overlook one of the most powerful tools in family history research, which is maps. Why? Because maps help place ancestors into the world where they actually lived. Think about that. You think, oh yeah, they're from Ohio, but you're thinking modern day Ohio. You're not thinking about what Ohio was like in 1832 when your ancestors lived there. But when you see a map from 1832, you realize, oh, there wasn't a lot of stuff around then. And so now you start exploring a little more. Were they a founding member of that county? A friend that I've been doing research for on her tree, her family got kicked off their land in West Virginia by the government. The government reclaimed their land back. And so the third great-grandfather, his fourth great-grandfather, and a historical well-known figure all left West Virginia to go up into Kentucky? Kansas. What's the one above West? Oh, jeepers, now I need a map again. I need a US map again. I keep getting these ones. That's the K one. I keep getting them mixed up. They went from West Virginia up into... Oh, actually, they didn't go there. They went next door to Kentucky. Jefferson County. Hang on. It was in Kansas. They went to Kansas. Okay. All right. Where is Kansas on the map? I need the color one. Black and white one's not working for me. Where the heck is Kansas? I know it's around there somewhere. I cannot find Kansas on this map. Oh, they went all the way over there? Wow, okay. See, this is why maps are important, because I thought that they went to a state that was above them like Kentucky or Kansas, but it turns out Kansas is all the way over that way in the west, and they went there. So see, even genealogists learn something new every time. Back to my... So maps can explain... So the record may tell you where someone lived, but a map helps you understand what was nearby, how far they traveled, as you just saw. I just found that out. What communities surrounded them, where churches, schools, cemeteries, and workplaces were located, and how geography may have shaped their daily lives. Now, I do know that this one family moved from West Virginia to Kansas, because I always got the K's mixed up. I didn't realize Kansas was halfway across the states, but that's where they moved to. And these three gentlemen went there found a place for them to live. The family became pioneers of Jefferson County in Kansas. That doesn't seem right to me. And went back a year later to pick up everybody, because they had to get everything ready for them to come along and join them. Actually, I'm just going to go in here really quick. Pretty sure it was this one. Hang on, I'm just making sure I've got the right branch of the family tree here. I'm just, because something's just bugging me about all of this. Okay, so they went... Okay, now under his is the story. This Pioneer Life. I think it was this one. Let's have a quick look-see here. Nope, it wasn't that one. Let's see if it was part of this one. Nope. It's really weird because I thought he was, sorry, they went to Indiana. No, hang on, that's not right. Or is it? I'm going to have to go have a look at that to see where they ended up, because in Madison and Jefferson County. Okay. They moved from Kentucky, settled in Jefferson County, Indiana. So they went to Indiana. Okay. All right. Now that I've got my facts straight, trust me, when you get a lot of trees, I've got like 40-something trees on Ancestry that I'm working on for clients, and as well as my own is included in that number. I actually have like 3 included in that number of mine. So whatever the number is besides that, there's a lot of facts that you got to keep straight. So Jefferson County, Indiana is where they ended up. My apologies. I thought it was Kentucky. Now let put me back to that map. Where's Indiana? Yeah, that's directly above. And I knew they went from Kentucky. They were in Kentucky, got their land seized back by the government, and they moved up to and settled in Jefferson, Indiana. Thank you for. See, we even make mistakes during the same thing, and that's fine. That's perfectly fine. At least I know where to go to get the information that I needed. I had it sourced. I had the sources there next to the information, and so I could quickly go and look it up and things like that. Okay. A family that moved away may have only relocated a few miles across the county line. An ancestor listed in a different county may never have moved at all because borders changed around them. So they could have been part of this county here, say, I don't know. They've been part of this county here, but because the political thing came in, they moved the county lines. Even though they're still in that same place, this does not belong to that county anymore. They've got the county lines going through here, and now they belong in a new county. So it could be that you need to look. This is another reason you need to go look at maps too, that especially that have the counties on them, and find out when did those county lines change. And it did it often. And not only that, towns changed as well because of the same reason. Historical maps can reveal old roads and railways. Towns that no longer exist. The towns may still exist, but just have a different name to them, because that happened a lot as well. Property boundaries changed. Neighboring families changed. Communities connected through geography. Genealogy is not just about finding names. It's about understanding the places where people lived their lives. And maps help bring those places back into focus, especially when you can go and look at the historical maps to see what information they have on there, where were the county lines, what were the town names, and that sort of thing. And it could be that you find you can find it in the directories. You find the directory that happened to be around at that time, and you find where your ancestors were in the early 1900s, and they're part of this county and the da-da-da. Then when you're looking at the maps, you find out that, that county changed. So they went from this county to that county without ever moving house. And that will show up in your census reports as well. So if you're looking at like the 1910 census and it says they're part of Madison County in whatever state they're in, then you get to the 1920 census, they're still living in the same address, but now it's part of some other county in the same state. And you have a look at the maps and find out that the county lines changed in that 10 years between the two census reports. So maps are important. They play a big role in things, especially when you can find out where the land was located and stuff like that. It's just absolutely amazing and fascinating. I love maps. I especially love having a paper map in my hand. This digital thing of following a map on a phone, I miss my Rand McNally maps and my Thomas guides. I think Rand McNally ended up buying out Thomas guides, I think. But there was a paper map. And I could sit down there with a paper map and work out where I was. And then I could figure out what route I was going to take to get to wherever, because I'm a person who don't like freeways very much. So I would look at the maps. How can I get around this and go the freeways? And I would go through the map books and go, okay, that's how I can do that. Once I had seen that in the maps, then I could happily follow the digital ones. And if something didn't seem right on me, because I'd say I'm going to go down this road, and I would remember the route in my head. And then if it took me off that, I'm like, no, this is not the way. The map said go this way. So we went that way that the map had said. And then the digital one would finally catch up with us. But anyway, that's it from me for today. Go out, have a super fantastic sparkling evening, and we'll